There were those who regarded Dr. Martyn Lloyd-Jones's change of career from potentially eminent London physician to humble pastor of a Calvinistic mission as romantic, others as foolish. The one thing of which Martyn Lloyd-Jones was certain was that his settlement in 1927, amidst the industrial depression of South Wales, was no sacrifice. As he himself said, "I gave up nothing. I received everything. I counted the highest honor God can confer on any man to be a herald of the gospel." On the verge of World War II, the doctor received a call to return to London and became minister of Westminster Chapel. It was during the Westminster years that Dr. Martyn Lloyd-Jones preached all his famous sermon series, which were originally recorded on reel-to-reel tape. These original sermons have been digitally restored and are now available in MP3 format as the Legacy Collection. In the following rare television interview, Dr. Lloyd-Jones talks about aspects of his life and ministry, particularly the call to preach, and what should characterize the preaching of any man who is truly called and anointed of God to this sacred office.
A man who has preached, and since his recent retirement from the care of his church, still preaches all over the world with burning sincerity and conviction. And he is Dr. Martyn Lloyd-Jones. Now, Dr. Martyn Lloyd-Jones, you've been about 40 years in the ministry, and before that you were a physician on the threshold of a very successful career. Now, what made you change course?
Well, of course, that's a question one can't answer in a few words. It was nothing sudden or dramatic. It was a process which went on really for several years, but particularly for the last 18 months before I left medicine and became a minister of the gospel.
What do you believe would make a successful preacher? Had you those qualities? Did you feel in yourself that you had the qualities that would make a successful preacher?
I really was never concerned about that. My concern was with what needed to be preached. And it was this burning conviction as to the message needed that drove me on. I've sometimes told people of a story which will help to answer your question, how, having taken my decision to go into the church and to preach, someone very near to me was walking with me one night and asked me the question, how do you know that you'll be able to preach? You know what you can do as a doctor, why not go on with that and exercise Christian influence? What if you find suddenly that you can't preach? Well, I'd only tried preaching about 3 times in very small places, and the only answer I could give was this: I know what I want to preach and what I think must be preached, and I have a feeling somehow that I'll be able to say it.